In 1492, a man from the Italian city of Genoa changed the world forever. His name was Christopher Columbus. He sailed west across the Atlantic Ocean under the Spanish flag and reached the Americas. But here is the great historical paradox. The man who opened the Atlantic world was Italian. Yet, Italy never built a colonial empire in the Americas. Other countries like Spain, Portugal, France, England, and even the Netherlands did. But Italy did nothing. Why? Let us explore one of history's most fascinating documentary, The Problem of Unity. To understand why Italy didn't colonize the Americas, we must first understand a crucial fact. In 1492, Italy did not exist. There was no Kingdom of Italy, no unified government, no national navy. Instead, the peninsula was divided into powerful and rival city-states which were the Republic of Venice, the Republic of Genoa, the Duchy of Milan, the Papal States, the Kingdom of Naples and Florence under the Medici. Each state had its own army, its own alliances, its own enemies, and most importantly, its own priorities. Unlike Spain or Portugal, Italy was politically fragmented. And fragmentation changes everything. Maritime powers but facing east. Italy's great maritime republics, especially Venice and Genoa, were already wealthy. But their wealth did not come from the Atlantic. It came from the Mediterranean. Spices from India, silk from China, goods flowing through the Ottoman Empire. Venice dominated Eastern Mediterranean trade, and Genoa operated across the Black Sea. Their eyes were turned east, not west. The Atlantic was distant, risky, and uncertain. Why abandon profitable established trade networks for a dangerous ocean no one understood? The Atlantic advantage. The geography shaped destiny. Spain and Portugal had something Italy did not, which was direct access to the Atlantic Ocean. Portugal, positioned on Europe's western edge, had already begun exploring Africa decades before Columbus. Under Prince Henry the Navigator, Portuguese sailors mastered ocean navigation, Atlantic wind systems, ship design and long-distance exploration. By the time Columbus proposed sailing west, Portugal had already rounded much of Africa. Spain, newly unified under Ferdinand and Isabella, was hungry for expansion after completing the Reconquista in 1492. Italy, meanwhile, remained Mediterranean-focused. Geography doesn't determine destiny entirely, but it strongly influences it. And Italy's geography tied it to the Mediterranean world. Columbus and the Italian explorers. Italian sailors. Foreign flags. Ironically, Italians were everywhere in the age of exploration. Christopher Columbus, from Genoa, sailed for Spain. Amerigo Vespucci, from Florence, sailed for Spain and Portugal. The Americas were named after him. John Cabot, Giovanni Caboto of Venice, sailed for England. Italian navigators were among the finest in Europe. So why did they serve foreign crowns? Because their home states lacked the financial backing, the centralized power, the political stability, and the imperial ambition. Spain and Portugal offered what Italy could not: royal sponsorship. Italian explorers didn't represent a nation. They represented opportunity. The Italian Wars. Italy becomes the battlefield. Just as the Atlantic world was opening, Italy descended into chaos. Beginning in 1494, the Italian peninsula became the battleground of Europe. France invaded. Spain intervened. The Holy Roman Empire fought for control. For more than 60 years, the Italian wars devastated the peninsula. Cities were looted. Armies marched back and forth. Governments collapsed. Instead of funding expeditions across the Atlantic, Italian states were fighting for survival. Spain eventually emerged dominant in southern Italy. Ironically, the very nation that sponsored Columbus would control large parts of Italy itself. The late unification. Italy arrived too late. Italy did not become a unified country until 1861. By then, the Americas had long been claimed. Spain controlled most of South America. Portugal ruled Brazil. Britain held North America and the Caribbean. France possessed territories across the globe. When Italy finally entered the age of imperialism, it was nearly 4 centuries too late. Instead of colonizing the Americas, Italy turned to Africa. The countries included Eritrea, Somalia, Libya, Ethiopia, but the invasion of Ethiopia was brief. These were minor compared to the vast empires of Britain or France. History's timing had already been decided. Economic realities. Italy experienced wealth without empire. Renaissance Italy was already wealthy. Florence was Europe's banking capital. Venice controlled maritime trade. Genoa financed Spanish ventures. Why risk unknown oceans when profits flowed steadily from banking and Mediterranean commerce? Spain sought gold. Portugal sought spices. Italy sought stability and profit, without overseas conquest. The incentive simply wasn't strong enough. What if? Imagine a unified Italian kingdom in 1450. Imagine Venetian fleets crossing the Atlantic. Imagine an Italian-speaking Brazil. Would New York be called Nuova Firenze? Would the Americas speak Italian instead of Spanish? History is not just about what happened. It is about what almost happened. Italians helped discover the Americas. They mapped them, named them, and even explored them. But they did not conquer them. Because Italy was divided. Because geography mattered. Because war consumed the peninsula. Because timing is everything. History is shaped not only by ambition, but by opportunity. And in the age of exploration, Italy had the sailors, but not the state. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments what you know about American colonization.